Welcome, everyone. I'm Gary Cormier. I'm the Senior Director of FAS HR Consulting. We're here to talk about some practical tips around performance management. One that I like to share is to find a way to informally and casually offer feedback to a direct report. Make it be part of your normal workday where you might grab a cup of coffee and coach somebody in the moment. Find ways to make it much more organic and in real time.
My name is Annie McGough. I'm a program coordinator for FAS Human Resources. And one practical tip I like to keep in mind is to keep track of feedback that you receive. Even kind of filing emails in a particular folder can be helpful when you're looking back on the progress you've made.
So you might even be thinking, this all sounds great, but you may ask yourself, how do I do this myself? What if I make someone upset or angry with me? What if I'm offered guidance that I really don't agree with? Here are some points for you to consider. First one is to be timely. When possible, try to give the feedback immediately and don't wait. Find a way to offer it casually and in the moment. Be brief. You don't need a formal meeting to discuss minor course correction. It can be over a cup of coffee or lunch or while you're talking in between a meeting. Say it in person whenever possible. Frame the guidance. If the intention of the guidance is to help someone do better and grow, say that. Frame the message you want to give at a very high level and then give the message itself. And don't make it personal. Keep guidance focused on the behavior and the outcome and not on the person. Listen. When someone is giving you guidance, say, tell me more. Seek to understand their perspective regardless of whether you agree with it. Listen and ask follow-up questions to fully understand it. And listen with a growth mindset. Having a growth mindset can help you approach the feedback from a perspective of continuous development and improvement.
You may think that this sounds too time-consuming. Ironically, it's actually the opposite. An ongoing coaching approach can take just a few minutes of a manager's time each week and can prevent smaller performance issues from growing into more significant problems. Being mindful and attentive to how your employees are performing is a great way to demonstrate your interest in their accomplishments and in their careers as a whole. Instead of thinking of coaching as a whole year's worth of time, imagine it as separate conversations dispensed continuously through the year in bite-sized chunks. This approach provides a staff member with more complete feedback on their strengths and potential areas of improvement. The outcome is that the coaching effort becomes more actionable, more motivational, and provides a chance for managers to coach for success.
Starting the conversation can sometimes seem like the hardest part. Conversation starters like these feel more natural and can help engage your staff member and even open up the conversation in a more authentic way. What's on your mind? That question can encourage the other person to speak openly about their priorities, challenges, and accomplishments. It really gets to the heart of their thoughts and concerns without making them feel under pressure. What's going on? Questions like this might feel more casual, which helps to create a more authentic dialogue between the manager and your staff member. What are you working on? This is an easy way to start a staff member to open up and share their current project updates, along with any challenges or concerns that have come up. Here's an example of using a simple conversation starter to then have an open and authentic discussion. Annie, thanks for coming by.
Oh, thanks for having me.
I know it's been a long week. I'm glad it's Friday. I bet you are too.
Oh, yeah.
So listen, what's been going on? What's been on your mind?
So the budget just got approved, which means I think I'm going to get a lot more position management forms submitted.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
And, I know people want to get stuff approved fast, but sometimes that means they don't always complete the forms the way they should. And that means I need to go back to the DAs or the consultants, and it just takes more time and effort for everybody.
So thinking about it, is there anything you think we can do to prevent them from coming in incomplete?
I mean, I think if we maybe communicated more about what information we really need.
So here's an idea. There's a department administrator meeting that comes up every quarter. Maybe you and I can get in front of the DAs and discuss the guidelines to solicit their help.
Oh, yeah.
So that in the future, what comes in is complete.
Oh, I think that would be
Save
great.
both of us a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
Sound like a good plan?
That'd be a big help.
Excellent. Great.
Performance management isn't only the responsibility of the manager. Staff members have an equally important role to play in these ongoing conversations. Staff members can take an active role in their performance management by doing a few simple things. First, reach out to your manager for guidance. Check in after completing projects or tackling particular problems. Think outside the meeting box. Ask your manager to grab lunch or coffee instead of setting up a regular meeting. Keep track of feedback. By taking notes and keeping track of the feedback you receive, you can more easily track your progress over time. Connect guidance with goals. Setting goals is a great way to start your journey. By tying these goals into feedback you've heard, you can track your progress and make sure you're working toward achieving your goals. For an example of this, watch as Gary and I talk about a specific project I've been working on.
Hey, Annie,
Hey, Gary.
what can I do for you? I know you stopped by.
I was wondering if I could get your thoughts on a project I've been working on.
Sure.
We've been doing the exit interviews for, a little over a year now. We totally changed the process. And now that I've just put together the executive summary, I was hoping I could get your feedback on how things have been going.
So before I give you some feedback, how do you feel about it?
I think there were a lot of bumps to start. We were starting the process really from scratch, and some things we had hoped to do, didn't end up being able to do. But I think once we figured things out, we got on a good path, and I think we're just going to kind of keep tweaking things and keep getting better.
So first of all, I'm glad you came in to ask for feedback. That's what I want you and I to do continually when we have feedback from one another, and I'll ask you if you're getting what you need from me. But before I ask you that, let me just say I'm really proud of the report. I think it looks great. I'm really anxious to share it with senior leadership. You did a phenomenal job editing it.
Oh, thanks.
And it looks exactly like the kind of document we would want to put in front of senior leaders.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no, thanks for saying that.
Sure.